Establishing goals is merely the initial steps that we take in pursuing our purpose in life, not the entirety of the process. Taking the path of realizing your full potentials calls for a total attention that is directed towards yourself. In this case, it is where you and your very self sit down to think about how you would want to see your real self in the coming future. And this is what usually we all do before we get into a new year. It is the period where we sit down, we take a pen and write down the very things that we would want to achieve in the coming year and the very things that we would want to let go in order to stay focused in pursuing our dreams. And in many cases, we call this activity New Year resolutions. And almost everyone does that. But that is not the point. The point is that after we have written all these things with energy, with enough conviction, we get into the new year, and after 5 days, or let's say a week, or probably few days into the new year, we realize that we become overwhelmed by the same dream that we wrote down. In a way, it becomes like the dreams or the goals that we wrote down are rather pursuing us instead of the otherwise, where we need to pursue the dreams. When it happens like that, many people, majority of the people, they get caught into this confusion, and the easy way out they probably think about is reverting to their old lives, what didn't yield anything for them in the previous years. If you're a victim of this thing that I'm talking about, then this video is for you, and so please stick and stay. So the question is, why would people give up after they have planned their lives that is what I want to achieve, this is where I want to get to in life in this new year? Why would people still go on and give up? In many cases, this is what I've realized. Sometimes they get overwhelmed because of the dream. The dream is too huge to the extent that they get confused when to even start and how to even start the whole thing. And that puts some kind of pressure on them. And so the easy way out is just to quit and say, let me live my life. Whatever life gives me, I would accept it that way. But that is not what I want you to do. Why? Because I have found something in the book that I would want to share with you. Last year, I had a chance to read a book by James Clear titled Atomic Habit. And from the book, I learned numerous lessons from it. But in this video, I'm going to share with you just two from it so that we will know how to be able to tackle our goals, pursue them, and be fulfilled in this year. And so the first lesson that I learned from the book is this, that we should break our goals into tasks. When we break our goals into tasks, it helps us achieve it easily. Goals are focused on the end result. And sometimes because the goals that we write for ourselves or we aspire to have are huge, they become something scary. In some cases, they put tension on us. And if you're not strong enough, you will give up. But when you break your goals into tasks, it becomes very easy for you to pursue them and achieve. Let's say, for example, if you want to write a book, the whole book itself might scare you and you might not even start at all. But when you break down the book into chapters, it is easy to write a chapter of a book, or let's say a page of a book, than thinking about the whole book. So if you task yourself each day, each week to write a chapter, by the time you put the completed chapters together, you would have gotten a full book. And that is what James Clear decided to teach us in that book. And to me, it resonates well with me. And that is what has helped me till this time. And so please, let's hold on to this, and I believe it will help us. And so as a believer, I was asking myself a question, that couldn't we have gotten the same idea from the Holy Scriptures? Wow, so that became my assignment. And so I took time to look at the Holy Scriptures. And believe you me, in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 downwards, that is the creation story, I had the lesson there. Meaning the lesson has been there for a longer time. But in view of all this, all that I would say is that all applause to James Clear for also writing this book to help a lot of people. And so if you read the book of Genesis, the first thing that you will see is that it talks about God creating the universe. God is too powerful to the extent that by just the snap of his fingers, the universe could have come to being. Even the thought of it alone could have brought the universe into being. But God, being a wonderful being, always leaving lessons for his children, decided to create the universe in a certain way that when we look at it, we can pick lessons from it. And so, the universe being the main goal, what God did was that He broke down the main goal into smaller tasks. And so each day, God created something. The first day, God created heaven and earth, day and night. And one thing that He did was that He looked at it and He said it was good. The second day, God created a firmament, which divided the waters above and the waters below. The third day, God separated the waters from the land, and we had the plantation and the water bodies. Then the fourth day, God created the moon, the stars, in fact, the lighting system. How wonderful it was. Then the fifth day, God created wild animals. The sixth day, God created human beings as well. And so you realize that each day, God placed a task to be achieved. And by the time He was done with each day's task, putting all of them together, we had the total universe. And so the lesson here for you to achieve your goals this year is that do not stare at the main goal as big as it is. It will scare you. Just take time and break down into tasks. And when you're able to do that, taking steps to achieve them becomes very, very easy. And that is what is even helping me to upload videos. Because sitting down and thinking of getting videos becomes a serious task. But when you break down into getting the idea, writing the content, and deciding on even the place to shoot, and also editing, then after that uploading, you realize that putting all these tasks together, you get a full piece to be able to upload on the internet. And so please, do well to break down your goals into tasks. And when you do that, the motivation will be there every day to pursue your goals. You cannot fail yourself this year, and you cannot disappoint yourself. Let me quickly add this last lesson that I learned from the book. He said that you should celebrate each milestone, by James Clear. And when you read the scriptures, it is there. When God created heaven and earth, day and night, the first day, He said He looked at it and He said, "This is good." The same thing, anytime you achieve something, just applaud yourself and say to yourself that this is good. The more you do that, you motivate your inner self to accomplish your goal. And so do well to do these very things that I have given to you. And this year, the truth is that we will accomplish our goals. One more thing, do not forget to subscribe if you are new here. And so please hit on the subscribe button, the like, and leave your comment below. One thing I will do is this. In the next video, anyone who comments on this video, I will give that person a shout out. And so please leave a comment. Let's support this channel and let's see it grow. Be part of this community. God bless you. See you in the next video.